Hello students, today let's talk about statistics for 11th standard. So the first thing that we're going to discuss about is something called dispersion. Now you must have learned in physics as well what does dispersion mean. If you remember in 10th standard you learned when white light falls into the prism it splits into 7 different colors. That means what? It gets dispersed. Now in terms of statistics how we can relate that thing. Now here are two examples given. See, so there are the same students. So the marks for two different subjects. For example, one is for physics, one is for maths, are given. Now see in the first set of data, the values are too spread out. See, the maximum marks is 49 and the minimum is 4. But if you see in the second set of data, the values are very close to each other. Now, if we find the mean of two set of data can be same, but the values could be spread out, right? So to find out that, we need to find about the dispersion. So the easiest way to find dispersion is we learned in 10th standard is something called range, right? So in the first set of data, if you find the range means what? It's basically the maximum value minus the minimum value. So if you see in the first set of data, the maximum value is 49, the minimum value is 4. So what will be the range? The range is 45. If we see in the second example, what is the maximum value? The maximum value we have 45 and the minimum value we have 38. So what's the distance? It is 7. See, in this case, the values are not that dispersed as compared to the first set of values. So today we will learn how we can find the dispersion in different methods in case of data, right? The first thing is called the mean deviation. Now see here, I have another set of data. The values are given like 10, 15, 22, 29, and 34. Here the mean of this data is 22. So how to find how disperse the data is how much is it deviated. So I subtracted the value of mean from each data. See, 10 minus 22 is minus 12, 15 minus 22 minus 7, and it's 20 minus 22 0, 29 minus 22 7, 34 minus 22 is 12. Now if I plot the same data in the number line, you can see here is the 22. Now you can actually see over here how the values are away or deviated from the mean value, right? Now we are going to find mean deviation. That means whatever deviation we got, if we find its mean, that means what? If I start adding minus 12, minus 7, 0, 7 plus 12, and I divide it by the number of observation, it's called mean deviation. But here is a problem. If we add the values the way it's given, there are possibilities that the answer will become 0. Now see in this example, this is 12, that's minus 12. Minus 7, 7. So in certain set of data, the answer could be 0. So to avoid that, what are we going to do is, we will take the modulus of the deviation. Now what will happen? Anything we put inside modulus, it becomes positive. Okay. Now after we get these values of the deviation, if we find their mean, it's called mean deviation. So here's the formula. So 1 by n summation. Summation, it means if we have as many data we have, we're going to add all those data and we'll find its mean. So x minus x bar inside modulus, and I goes from 1 to n. So this is how we can easily find the mean deviation about the mean. Now, if for a set of data we find the values of the median and we want to see how deviated the data are with respect to the median, we'll just simply change this formula. In place of x bar, which means the mean of the data, we will write the value of the median. That way we can easily find the mean deviation about the median. I hope all of you understood this. Is very simple. Next thing comes is something called standard deviation. Now, in the previous set of data you saw, we used a modulus so that we got positive values of the deviation. Now, we can do another thing. Rather than getting a modulus, what we can do? We can take a square of the value. If suppose my mean deviation was minus 7, if I square it, it's going to become 49, right? That way also we can find the data. And if you do that, that's called variance. See, it's the same formula just like the mean deviation, but here we are not using a modulus. Instead, we are using a square, and this is called variance. It's written as sigma square. Now the thing is what? Once you got the variance, suppose the deviation that it was minus 7 centimeter. Now if you find its square, it will become what? In centimeter square, but we need the answer in centimeter, right? So what we're going to do, we will under root the value. And once you do that, this becomes the formula, and that we call standard deviation. Easy. I hope all of you understood. So the standard deviation, mean deviation about mean, mean deviation about median, this all tells us about the dispersion, like how dispersed the data are. So in 11th standard, the most important or the first part is given is combined mean and standard deviation. Now what does this mean? Suppose I have two set of data. Suppose there are 10 male workers, and the salary is given. The mean of the salary is x1 bar, and the deviation. This deviation means what? How dispersed the data are from the mean values. And second set of data is given, for example, 20 female workers, and the mean of the salary is x2 bar, and the standard deviation is sigma 2. How do we find combined mean? Now they are asking us that combine these two data and tell us overall mean about the daily wages. So that will be what? X bar. X bar is the new mean, combined mean. That will be simply n1 x1 bar. We're going to multiply the number in the sample to its mean plus n2 x2 bar divided by the total numbers. This way you can easily find the combined mean. We'll do a question and that we'll understand that better. Now the mean formula is very easy. Then comes the variance formula. Okay, so variance, it's a square. See what you're going to do. First we will do n1 sigma 1 square plus n2 sigma 2 square. Then see there is a new term called d1. I'll explain what that means. Then we have n1 d1 square, n2 d2 square by n1 plus n2. Now you already know what is sigma 1 and sigma 2. Sigma 1 is the standard deviation for the set of value of n1. Sigma 2 is the standard deviation for the value of n2. Now see, after we calculate a new mean, okay, now this mean and this mean will have some deviation with the new mean. Understood? Suppose this mean was 25. This mean was, let's take, let's take this mean was 30. Now what will be the combined mean? 45, 45 is how much? 22.5. So this is our new mean. See, from this new mean also this value is deviated to certain distance. These values are called d1 and d2. Okay, we are not going to use the again sigma, it will create confusion. So we'll use d1 and d2. So what is the d1? D1 is the deviation of the deviation of the mean 1 with respect to the new mean, combined mean. D2 is the deviation of the x2 mean with respect to the new mean. Understood? Let's try one question. The concepts will be much clear. So here given two samples. Let's draw it like this. It makes most easier. First sample we have 50. Next sample we have 100 data. The mean of the samples are, so the mean given is 56 and the mean given here is 50. They are asking find the combined mean for 1. So we already understood how to find the combined mean. It's very easy. It is n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar divided by n1 plus n2. N1 is how much? We have 50. N x1 bar is 56. Then we have n2 is 100. X2 bar is 50 divided by 150. So what are we gonna get? 50 into 56 is how much? It is 2800. 50 into 100, that's 5000 divided by 150. If we simplify this, after simplification, the mean is coming 52. Right? Now see, we got a new mean. Remember we learned about d1. So can you tell me what will be the d1? d1 will be x1 minus x bar. It's in modulus, so it doesn't matter, positive, negative. So it's 56 minus 52, that is 4. What's the value of d2? It's not asked, but I'm showing so that you can understand. d2 is 50 minus 52. Answer is 2. Easy. Let's take another question. It's given for a group of 50 mil. Let's make the samples. So n1 we have there are 50 male workers, the mean and standard deviation. So the mean for the male workers are given 63 rupees and standard deviation is given 9 rupees. Then for female group there are how many people? There are 40 female workers and their mean is 54 rupees. Standard deviation is 6 rupees. Find combined mean and combined standard deviation. Easy. So combined mean formula we already know. X bar will be what? N1 x1 bar plus N2 x2 bar divided by N1 plus N2. So if we simply put the values, what are we going to get? N1 is 50, x1 bar is 63, N2 we have 40, x2 bar is 54 divided by 50 plus 40, that is 90. So after simplifying this, the value is coming out as 59. Easy, we got 59. See, these were the means, individual means. We got a combined mean of 59. Now, can you tell me what will be D1? D1 will be the difference between these two. So, D1 will be modulus of 63 minus 59, which is what? 4. D2 will be the difference between this mean and the combined mean. So, D2 will be 59 minus 54, that is again 5. So we got a combined mean. Now we need to calculate our combined variance. Okay, let's write the variance formula. So variance formula was what? It was n1 x, oh, just a second, it is not x1, n1 sigma 1 square, n2 sigma 2 square. Then we have n1 d1 square, n2 d2 square divided by n1 plus n2. Let's put the values over here. So n1 we have 15. What is sigma 1 square? It's 9. So it's 9 square. Then we have n2 which is 40. What is sigma 2 square? It is 6 square. Then again n1 which is 50. What is d1? d1 is 4. So 4 square. Then n2 is 40. d2 square, sigma d2 square is 5 square. N1 plus N2 will be again 90. After simplifying this, we will get the answer as 81. Now see, they asked us to find the combined standard deviation, but what we calculated? We just calculated the variance. To find the standard deviation, what we'll have to do? We will have to square the deviation. Sorry, the variance. So that sigma will be what? 9. So 9 will be the combined standard deviation and x bar will be the 15 and will be the combined mean. So I hope all of you understood the basics of the first part. So in the next class, we'll continue from here. We will learn about median and more. If you have any doubts regarding any of the questions, you can ask me in the comments. I'll see you students in the next class.